Hi everyone, welcome back to Work In Progress, and today I have Damian from Mystic Miniatures.
Yes.
Yay!
Hello.
One of our favorite people here over at Wild Magic because he supplies, supplies all our Warhammer goodies.
Plastic.
Okay, this one doesn't smell like it.
Yeah, that doesn't smell.
Okay, I've been deceived. Normally there is a certain plastic smell, but this one doesn't have it, so I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I mean it's been out of the box for some time now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, anyways, for this episode, I really don't know what we call this, but for this episode, we're going to be talking about terrain.
Yes.
Yes, and this is one of the examples of terrain that you can. I mean, they come in boxes, right?
Yeah, they
And
come in
here's the
boxes.
thing: people always talk about buying models. I don't hear people talking about buying terrain.
Well,
Why? Why is that? Why don't people talk about like buying?
because for the most part, when you see terrains, people can actually DIY and all that, right? So, sometimes when you see those terrains, it's actually more impressive to what we actually get. But however, what Games Workshop actually does is they make it modular.
Okay, so you can, which means you can
Customize.
move them around,
Yeah.
or glue them right and wrong.
Yes. So basically, for a set like this, you can actually stack them together, make multiple stories. Yeah. Some of them actually made one piece. Like let's say it's only this big, however, it's this tall.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's the point of what's the point of doing something like that?
People actually do it for diorama.
I see.
Or basically they want to play like going one level up to another level to another level.
Okay.
Yeah. So that they don't have to change the terrain every time they play.
Okay. All right. So for this week, this is what we're working on. This is heavier than than like the runners I normally deal with are not this heavy.
Yes.
Because these things are
Very thick plastic.
thick AF, TICC, THICC, AF.
Yes.
I'm in the lingo. I'm cool, ma. Look.
Yeah.
Alright. So even okay online on YouTube and all of this stuff, we're gonna because we have to work.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Even like on YouTube and stuff, you always have people reviewing models, reviewing new
Yes.
stuff that comes out.
Yep.
And speaking of new stuff that comes out, this is super new as well. This is the Ravaged Land Soul Drain Forest for Warcry, and it looks fancy because it's just got trees and
Yes.
rocks and pillars, and it's super sexy.
This is basically Brunei.
Yes, if you love Brunei, you will buy this. So, like a box like this, you will get like trees and rocks and pillars and mats.
Yes. So basically, you can once you build this up, you can start playing.
Okay. Right.
I mean, it's not just for Warhammer, right? You can put it on with Gundams and all that.
So long as the scale is right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. So, like, why don't people buy terrain? Or why don't people put as much attention on terrain? What do
I'm
you
not sure as well.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I like the terrains personally because right out of the box, you actually get what you want, right? And then you don't have to think like, okay, what sort of materials I need, what sort of stuff I need to do, or even use your time to do that terrain. There is fun in DIY. However, for me who always rush around and bring it to places like expos, demos and all that, I like these better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And DIYs tend to not hold together so well as well, right?
Yes.
You put them in a box and then you goncang sikit and then suddenly
It cracks, it breaks, and then suddenly you drop to the floor and then your heart breaks.
along with it. And I think like what's really also important is that it's kind of standard,
Yes.
right? It's like the height, the doorways, the
Yes.
windows, the
The-
lobang lah, all
the ratios and all that. Furthermore, when you think about it, I mean, you can't replicate the details.
Definitely no.
Yeah.
You'll only be able to get so much out of it in the sense where lines and
Yeah, I mean, how do you replicate pillars like these, right?
with a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
With time that I do not have.
Yes, true. A lot of work and time
Yeah.
that none of us have.
So, yeah, it depends on people to people.
Okay.
Yeah, some actually likes to DIY and all that. For us who always rush around, we prefer these.
Alright. I managed to catch one of a YouTube video yesterday in preparation for today. It was by Midwinter Minis, and he declared this challenge where I'm going to build something out of water gun parts.
I've seen.
You've seen that, okay? You've seen that, and at the same time, I was like, "Wait, how do you what? But of course, he opened it up, he cut it up. He cheated a little bit as well. And
I mean, the thing he does it's quite special because you don't normally see people using water gun, cut it up, and paint it as terrain. Right.
True, because once you paint, suddenly it just loses what it was supposed to kan.
Yeah.
My only problem, I'm not going to say problem, my only issue is that these knobs are huge.
Yes. I know. I built one
Why
of these.
is it so big?
I mean, they're thick plastic, so
Yeah.
it makes
of
sense.
course. But I'm just not. I'm out of my element. I'm officially out of my element because these knobs are really, really big and.
Yeah. It takes time to actually adjust. So to me, I don't know. I just cut them up and start doing what I need to do as long as it goes on the table.
Okay.
That's it. That's fine.
So how much time would you spend on like getting terrain done? Like ASAP or
I would say it would last around 3 hours per like one piece.
wow.
Yeah.
Is that just putting together or like the whole painting process as well?
Oh no, that's just putting it together.
Just putting it together. Okay, so heads up.
Yes.
Be prepared to spend 3 hours just putting it together.
I mean, I do take breaks and all that. Like, okay, I cut it up, everything. I put it on the table, look at the book, scroll the phone for a while, and after that, okay, I should get back to it.
Guess I will.
Yeah.
But how important is the use of terrain in games?
In tabletop game wise, it's quite important because one, it gives off the immersion. Okay, so when you play on let's say with boxes, with books and all that, acting as terrain, you don't get immersed into the storyline or the battlefield as all. Compared to when you have terrains on the table, it's a whole different experience, right? So yeah, it basically sucks you in.
Okay.
It makes you want to play more because the terrain is always changing. The scene is always different. It's like watching a movie, but you're playing it.
So terrain helps to transport you into this whole entire world that you're supposed to be like pretending to be in.
Yes. I mean, it's almost the same as reading storybooks, where storybooks wise, you are imagining it. This one is right in front of you. You know what's happening. Yeah.
And it's like as you move, it's like the narration or the story in your head is ongoing with it, kan?
Yes. So yeah, basically it helps you to get into the thing rather than just thinking, oh, I need to move here. I need to move here.
So it takes away from the whole mechanical aspect of it. Not just, okay, here are my stuff, this is my thing. It's like, yeah, I win. It's like, no.
I mean, some people like it. They just want to have a game. But for me, as a person who likes stories, who likes plots and the scene as well, I like these things more rather than, just plain boards.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. It makes sense. Okay. Because it's like, for me, I didn't bother investing in any terrain whatsoever. until I got the Battle Sanctum. I got the Battle Sanctum right after I got the Battle Systems of Battle box, and I got it purely because I wanted like a centerpiece for my for my display, and I was like, oh, this would be perfect because it's got the Saint Celestine statue.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, lawak ni, they put there. I didn't really think of it as terrain. I thought of it as like a display piece.
If you want to, let's say, have that as a terrain piece, basically you need to set up the whole thing, like beside it, like buildings, the army itself, like all of it. So basically that centerpiece makes it even more impressive.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
To which I also still have not finished.
It's fine. I mean, unless you're rushing for something, I don't see.
No. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I didn't feel the need that I was rushing, or I had a timeline or like whatever.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, okay, my sisters needed to finish first. Because I couldn't exactly play with Saint Celestine.
In a way,
Unless you guys like, now proxy more like that.
I mean, unless the opponent says it, it's fine. Okay.
Okay. So what's the hardest part, like of putting together terrain? I'm obviously like experiencing it right now because it's like huge knobs and mold lines and dust.
Yes.
Thanks to my fighting.
So what I do for these challenges, like big nubs as you mentioned, which is also a challenge to me actually, because I'm so used to doing like small figures, small minis and all that, right? It's so hard to cut through because what I use is just the knife and the mold line remover.
Ah, okay. I'm like nipper files. Hold on, I was like, I wanted to make it cooler, so I was like, I wanted like a Wolverine. So okay.
I'll be X3 then. Yeah, nah. My two little guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So the challenge would be cutting through the knobs. They're so damn thick.
Very.
I can't for the life of me.
They are
so
about
tiring.
like basar.
They're about basar. Okay. So yeah, for the life of me, I couldn't get through all the knobs at all. Sometimes that I just go, okay, I need a rest. I'm so tired out of cutting all this thing. I need to rest. Yeah. So, I mean, this is just one. I'm already tired.
You got one. I'm like on one side. I just move on the other side, so I can see why this can take a while.
Yeah.
Right? But with regards to that's building, right? But painting terrain is easier.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's just solid color, wash, highlight.
Oh, I don't even do that.
You don't even. Okay, what do you do?
Spray black, dry brush.
Spray black, dry brush. Okay. Grimdark World.
Yes.
Okay. So that's probably one way to do it, I guess. But I've also seen, oh my god, I forgot which one it was, but the Artist Opus guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he did like a retro ghostly sort of a
Yes.
the walls. So he did one which was like blue, green, cream, and then okay, we're gonna do purple and pink. I was like, what?
The color build up, is very impressive. Aku lihat pun bangang. Serious.
But because it's like after he's done that, then it's like, you know what? You don't really need to go into like highlight individually like all the bits and pieces anymore, because unless you want to lah. But no.
No. For me, I can't. That's why I opt for dry brushing. It's only when, let's say, there's something very prominent, then I will do highlights.
Okay. But even then, it's like, does anybody really like, wow, it's like, who painted it on?
I don't know. You got me there. I don't know. I mean, I painted so many terrains and people go like, oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Terrain. Okay.
As
look at this
opposed
mini.
as opposed to a mini where people go like, wow, look at that. Wow.
I know, right?
They all really tungang. But it's like terrain is like nobody really gives a rat's ass.
But however, is the least important, the least known thing that which is more important. Yes. So, like I mentioned, story, you need immersion and all that. Without these, your model is just a model.
True,
right.
True.
Even people do small dioramas for their models, like on the bases and all that. Right. So, yeah, it speaks volumes on how the immersion goes with terrain.
Okay. And in a game like Warcry, for example, terrain is very important.
Yes.
It's crucial because it's one of the cards that you pull. Right, it's your terrain cards.
Yes.
And then you've got your victory cards, and then you've got your twist card, and that's all part of it. Now, if you choose to not play with terrain, then it kind of
Yeah.
It's like
Even like some of the factions, like the Corvus Cabal, if you notice,
yes,
they need the terrain to jump around.
You need that like terrain for that strike thing, death from above. I think that's what it's called.
So you need terrains to jump around. Only then you can activate that particular skill. I'm like, okay. So if I don't have terrain, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Like somebody goes like, oh, you playing Corvus Cabal? Bahan apa ya pakai itu terrain ni? Malas aku.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
If your opponent goes like macam, let's just not play tu. Then you go like, then I can't use my thingy.
Yeah.
Right? Sengaja je tu. Kurang ajar.
Okay lah, unless the guy doesn't know and all that, and he just wants a quick game. Mana saja.
But still, I know. I mean, all of these functions, all of these models are there for a reason. It's like, you have to incorporate whatever skills they do have. It's all part of the whole strategy of things, kan?
Yes.
But when you start taking it out and you say, I don't want to play with terrain, so we're just playing on an empty map, then you can't utilize that strategy to your advantage.
Yes.
Right? And in Kill Team it's the same as well.
It's like a handicap.
Yeah, and in Kill Team it's the same as well, because if you don't play with terrain, then your line of sight, and
yes, the whole point of blocking obstacles and all that.
Otherwise, everyone's just like pew 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 pew. You're just rolling to hit, rolling to wound, and then that's it.
Yeah. So that's the importance of a terrain. Yeah. Makes things more interesting.
So what's your favorite terrain so far? Do you have one? Do you have a favorite terrain? Or
You see, it's so serious, I need to put it down.
Wow. I thought this was a fun question.
It's a fun question. At the same time, it made me think. I built so much. What's my favorite?
What did you enjoy building?
What do I enjoy building? Let me think.
Like buildings, ruins, natural things.
DIY wise, I like building buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, because buildings themselves, they have this structural integrity that you need to what do you call, make them stable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the higher you build, the more stuff you need to put there.
Yeah.
Right.
For weight and all this.
Yeah. For terrains wise, like these pre-made ones, I actually like what do you call that? The Age of Sigmar.
Oh, like
stuff.
the ruins, the temple.
Yeah, the ruins, the
Okay.
temples, and all that, because I like how the details are there, and even though it's flat, right? The terrain itself is flat, so when you look on the details itself, it's so much that you can actually make a lot of color combinations there. Yes, which I was rushing. I didn't bother. I was like, okay, slap the color there. It looks good.
So it's like for something like that, like ruins, you can't exactly just go black and then dry brush.
Cannot.
So what did you do with that one?
I cheated again. Spray with the Wraith Bone. Okay, and after that use Seraphim Sepia.
It's one of my favorite washes, Seraphim
I
Sepia,
know.
because it's not as crazy strong as Agrax. I don't have to water it down, and it works with
Gold.
skeletons. It works with gold. It works with just a lot of stuff that you just want.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I was actually testing it actually. So to my surprise, after I put the wash down, it actually turned into sandstone. Yeah.
Okay.
So it took the whole thing to another level, which I'm like, I'm so surprised. Why didn't I even invest in more Seraphim Sepia?
We'll get some more. I'm actually running out of Seraphim Sepia.
I ran now. I haven't even
like just
taken-
now, Casey was asking, it's like, what contrast should I get for stone? And I was going, stone, huh? It's like 1,000 different colors of stone.
I
It's
know,
like, what
right?
exactly are you looking for, right?
Stone wise, I think you can use what you call that, Agros Dunes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was suggesting Cygor Brown pulang.
Cycle round pun okay pulang.
But it's like more of a muddy, stony.
Oh, okay.
But of course, it's like you need to highlight so that it pops a bit. And dry
Yes,
brushing is also
yes.
important and stuff like that. Yeah. So, anyways, okay, you know what? We've been yapping around for so long, and I've only got this one piece. This one goddamn cookie piece. You got 2 small cookie. Okay lah, 3 lah. Huh?
Nada ni
Obviously.
belum ni.
But it's like to get this sort of like, this is like.
You can't
This
even
is-
find a word for it.
Yeah, it's like this is important because you want it to like stand up straight-ish, right? And you don't need it like
Goyang-goyang.
goyang-goyang, it's like
Oh.
teetering on ato sort of stuff. So yeah, even building terrain
Takes
can
time.
be, it will definitely take time, but once you put it all together, once it's all as simply assembled and as simply painted as like however you choose to do so, it just adds that dimension to your display, adds that
Yes.
dimension to your games especially. So if you have like a gajillion armies but no terrain,
It's like,
what are you doing with your life,
I don't know.
right?
I spent my time building an army with no immersion.
Exactly. Right. So dig deep and ask yourself this: all those models, all those armies, not a single piece of terrain. It's a bit sad.
Yes.
So you know what? You can come down to our magic. We've got stuff.
We got stuff.
We've got stuff. Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
We've got stuff. And if we run out, you know what? Give Mystic Miniatures a call. So that's it for this week. Thank you. See you guys.
Alright, thank you.
It took forever. Oh my god.
You understand now why I said I took 3 hours?
For one or for one set?
Aku satu piece ni
Ah,
hanya.
yeah, for 1 hour, 3 hours for that one.
Because you
No,
punya
3 hours is just like if I manage my time,
Okay.
I can make 3.